Ethereum has a massive problem, but when it solves it, it will flip Bitcoin. In this video, I want to show you what exactly is the problem, what I think is the most probable solution, and we're gonna calculate what exactly is needed for Ethereum to flip Bitcoin. We're much closer than what you think. And also at the end, we're gonna look at the other side, what might cause this not happening. We don't want to be drinking any moon juice here, we want to be objective. Let's start. If you ever had to do anything on the Ethereum network or any other blockchain for that matter, you know that the experience is a nightmare, just to put it very politely. First of all, you need to choose the least annoying wallet from them all to interact with all the apps. Most people use MetaMask just because it is the widest adopted. However, it's still very annoying. And once you have done this, let's say you want to connect to a DeFi app or a layer 2 solution, it gets much worse. So let's say you want to swap tokens on Uniswap here. You have to make sure that the token that you want to swap has, first of all, enough liquidity. Then you need to connect to your wallet and check the network that you want to trade on, because there are layer 2 solutions, there are different also other blockchains, but on other blockchains you cannot use Uniswap because Uniswap is Ethereum specific. So you cannot buy, let's say, Solana here and transfer it there. And all of these networks need to be added to your MetaMask, and also you need to have different wallets for different blockchains. And if you want to move across even in Ethereum to a different layer, let's say you want to go from Polygon to Optimism or Arbitrum, you need to then use a bridge, which looks something like this, and you need to transfer and obviously pay fees all along each step to transfer assets from mainnet of Ethereum to, in this case, Arbitrum 1. And let's say you want to buy some NFTs because you're a complete degenerate or you really like the art. You have to go through exactly the same process. There are different marketplaces for different networks, and even on OpenSea, which has several different networks that offer NFTs, you still need to connect with different wallets and do different purchases and add different assets to each of the wallets. It's just super annoying, and to be honest, to be proficient in all of this, you really need a PhD, and I think this is what is discouraging 95% at least of the people out there to even touch crypto or do anything meaningful on the blockchain. So how can we solve this mess and attract a lot more users to the network? Because truly, this is what's going to drive the price up. Speculation and investments are great, but up to a certain point. After that, we really need true adoption. And I think the solution to all of this starts at the top. And I want to give you a perfect real life example of how we can solve this. This here is a credit card, and it doesn't matter which bank I open it with. It doesn't matter what kind of currency the credit card is in, and it doesn't really matter where I use it, all over the world, or which is the home currency of the country that I'm using it. It will serve me exactly the same purpose, and it will get me to my end goal, to buy something, to get and to exchange assets, in this case cash, for whatever I want all over the world. And I don't really care as a user what happens in the background of this credit card, how they make it work, what the bank does together with all the other banks, ATMs, paying terminals, or whatever. I just need a very simple solution, and it makes my life a lot easier. And I think this is what we need to solve, the wallet problem of all the networks out there. The user shouldn't care if he's on Ethereum network or layer 1 network or any other blockchain for this matter. All what he needs to know is that whenever he has a good wallet that he can connect to a service outside in the real world or also in the metaverse, it will serve it the same purpose. It will take it to point A to point B by purchasing whatever he needs to get there. I think this will be a complete game changer. It will be like pretty much what Amazon did for online shopping and what Apple did with the iPhone for scrolling on social media, and of course smartphone adoption and internet growth and adoption. This will be really this kind of important moment, and I think it's much closer than what everybody thinks, just because of the network effect that we're seeing and the exponential growth that we see in technology. It might have taken 20 or 30 years from the discovery of the internet and the real start of adoption of the internet to actually getting to Amazon and being able to buy books or whatever on Amazon. However, I think these innovations in crypto are happening much faster, mainly because first of all, we are already 10 years into the history of crypto, and second, there's been so much technology and so much investment already. So I think in the near future, like in the next 2 or 3 years, we might start seeing products like this that elevate the entire crypto industry to a full new level, and the adoption will just go through the roof. So once we know what we need, let's look at the actual calculation and what would it take for Ethereum to flip Bitcoin. Let me jump into the computer. Currently, the market cap of Bitcoin is just about 2 times more than what is Ethereum. It's a little bit more, but let's just round it up for simplicity. And if we do the simple math, this means that Ethereum needs to grow twice as fast compared to Bitcoin in order for the flippening to happen. However, this ratio, although it has been stable for pretty much the last several months, I would say even a year, it hasn't always been like this. Obviously, it has been a lot bigger, but also at some point in 2017, the two were much closer. And here on CoinMarketCap, there's a really cool feature. You can go back in history and see the snapshot of a given day. And back in 2017, here in June 18, you'll see that it was much closer. So at that time, Bitcoin was at $41 billion market cap and Ethereum was at around 34 billion of market cap. So this was really close. And just for the history's sake, look at these prices, guys. Bitcoin at 2.5k. That was crazy. It's crazy what kind of a road we've been on and where we're at right now. So on the chart of Bitcoin versus Ethereum, this looks something like this. So you can see the spike and this level right here, which is pretty much the all-time high currently. So if we get back close to this level, pretty much this will mean that Ethereum will flip Bitcoin. And if we look at the percentage at this point that we are right now, 100% is somewhere up here. And you can see that if we get to this level, then Ethereum will be technically flipping Bitcoin. However, this is not the most interesting thing on this chart. As you can see, right from the inception of Ethereum, we have seen a nice trend which has a constant higher lows all through these years. It will be like 8 years already. And you can see that this trend is kind of accelerating in the last months and years. This is a monthly chart, by the way. And right now we are having an accumulation here again with higher lows. And in my book of trading, whenever we have something like this, there's a big opportunity ahead of us that this could potentially break out. And also the power of this breakout will be very strong, mostly because we've had since May of 2021 consolidating in this range. And no matter what happens on the market, the price has been very stable on Ethereum versus Bitcoin. And this makes me super bullish. Obviously, I have discussed in length in other videos why I'm so bullish on Ethereum and what happened with the merge and how this is such an amazing achievement, and the future updates that are coming to the Ethereum network I'm also very excited about. But when you see this chart, if you don't even know which are the tokens here that we're talking about, definitely you cannot just completely disregard the setup. And even if we don't have an all-time high right away, if we get a pop to this level right here, this still is a very good sign in Ethereum that is gaining momentum versus Bitcoin. And this is even without this aha big moment that we're talking about. Imagine what will happen if we really get something like this. Now let's look how exactly this would look in the dollar value. Let's say, for example, that Ethereum at these levels where it flips Bitcoin is at $10,000 per Ethereum. If we go back to CoinMarketCap, we can do some calculations. And let's say we have $10,000 per one Ethereum. And then we have currently around 122 million Ethereum in circulation. I'm gonna round it up like this just for simplicity. And if we do the math, this means that Ethereum will be at $1.2 trillion of market cap. And if we quickly divide this by the circulation supply of Bitcoin, which is 19.2 million, and then I'm gonna round it up again, we're gonna see that the price of Bitcoin at that moment in time should be around $63,000, which is actually quite close to the all-time high of the price of Bitcoin. And I wouldn't be surprised if this actually happens because of the size of the market cap and because of the adoption that we're seeing. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit all-time high on Ethereum before Bitcoin hits its new all-time high, or if it ever does, because what we're seeing is diminishing returns after every cycle. And if the trend continues, I think this calculation is not out of the realm of possibility. And even if it's not, even if they go much faster up, and if Ethereum is, let's say, flips Bitcoin at 15,000 per Ethereum or 20,000, I still think this might happen in the next few years. Obviously, this is the bullish scenario, and we still could retrace from here. Maybe something happens to a network of Ethereum and it's not so resilient as it used to be. However, I don't think this would be the case. I think there's a bigger threat to the flippening not happening, and that's what I want to discuss next. Let me get this straight. I don't really think there's a chance for all of this or this kind of innovation not to happen. Okay, it might not be the wallet, it might be something else which will completely transform the industry, but I truly believe these kind of moments are coming, and they're coming fast. And I'm mainly betting on Ethereum because right now it has the most users, it has the widest adoption, and also it has the most developers. So just statistically speaking, I think it has the biggest chance someone within the ecosystem of Ethereum to come out with such kind of project, which will bring us to the entire new level that we already discussed. However, I'm not completely excluding the option that maybe this innovation will come from somewhere else. And actually, there's a book on this topic. It's from Matt Ridley, and I encourage you to read it. It's a history of how innovation works. And usually the first comers are not the ones that reap all the benefits from their inventions. Usually there are a lot of people after them that improve on their invention. At some point there's someone big that has all the solutions and has this big aha moment. Okay, this is what the user needs, and that is what brings the adoption of this technology to a completely new level. So there might be some kids out there in a garage that really hates using Ethereum because of the experience, and it just decides to write its own code to create its own blockchain and have its own wallets or whatever else he thinks of that solves all the problems that we currently have. And we don't know maybe if some of the other projects like Atom, which is focused exactly solving the problem with all the blockchains and how they communicate with each other, maybe it will be some of the other smaller projects that finds a better solution. It will be very exciting to watch and see, and definitely I think if you're not into crypto or this is just the beginning for you, start getting a little bit more educated, start learning a little bit more about the blockchain, and I promise you, you will have a lot of opportunities first of all ahead of you in the coming years, and then it will be just very fun. If you don't want to invest, that's great, but this is really history in the making. It's a really special moment in time, and I think these come very rarely, and I'm personally very excited about this moment. That's everything for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.